Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Mayank and I'm a second year student at HEC Paris specializing in marketing. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about the approach that I take to making friends, finding jobs, getting opportunities, and otherwise doing most things in my life. I call it the funnel theory. It was with this funnel-based approach that when I was in Los Angeles last year, I managed to make a whole bunch of really good friends, a couple of whom I'm still in touch with even today, and I managed to find an amazing internship opportunity at MAC Cosmetics in Paris. And similarly, I got tons of other unique opportunities in my life, and this is also how I network with people and create professional connections as well. So yeah, let's just get right into it. Alright, so first I need to tell you about this concept in marketing called the marketing funnel. Let's take for example a company selling watches on its website online. Now, say 100,000 people visited the website. Out of those 100,000 people, maybe 10,000 clicked on a watch which was on the homepage. And out of those 10,000 people, maybe 500 people clicked the buy now or add to cart button. And out of those 500, maybe 200 completed the purchase. And even out of those 200, there's probably 15 or 20 that actually returned the watch after they received it. These are all example numbers, but you can understand that if we didn't have 100,000 people on the homepage to begin with, we wouldn't come up with 200 final purchases. This is called a marketing funnel. It's wide at the top and narrow at the bottom. People go from the top of the funnel through the middle and finally down to the bottom when they leave the funnel, and that's called a conversion. The assumption for this video is that the goal is to increase the number of conversions. To increase the number at the bottom of the funnel, basically to increase the number of people buying a watch, continuing from the previous example. Maybe we want to go from 200 people buying a watch to 2,000 people buying a watch. There's three broad ways to do this. The most obvious way, I guess, is to increase the number at the top of the funnel. Basically, get more people coming onto the website in the first place. So if we go from 100,000 people to say 1,000,000 people visiting the site, theoretically, the number of 200 at the bottom should increase to 2,000. Let's call this process increasing your leads. But that's not always the most cost-effective way or the most efficient way to do things. What else can we do? We can also improve the quality or the slipperiness of the funnel. Make it more enticing to go from the top of the funnel to the middle and then to the bottom. In our example, we can add offers. We can say 20% off or 30% off or like free shipping. And these are things which can like entice people to go from the home page to the product page and then to the cart. Otherwise, you can place your watches more attractively. You can get a better quality website. You can basically just improve the customer experience overall. This is a slightly more permanent and scalable solution as opposed to just getting more customers coming onto the site in the first place. It might cost more in the beginning, but then you don't have to keep spending money to keep getting a large number of people onto the website. You're doing more with what you already have. Let's call this process improving your funnel. But there's actually one more thing that we can do that we don't think about as much as the previous two. What if the 100,000 people that are visiting your site are actually not the right kind of people? What if you're selling like manly man watches, like big watches, and most of the 100,000 people that are visiting your site are actually women who might not be interested in such kind of watches? If that's the case, no matter how many people you bring in, if you go from 100,000 to 1,000,000, the number of people at the bottom of the funnel is not going to improve that much. So what you really want to think about are whether the people that are coming to your site are the right kind of people. People that might want what you're offering. And also people that you want to come onto your site as well. Let's call this process improving your targeting. Now that you know what a marketing funnel is, it might seem super technical and you might be wondering, how can I apply this to my life? What's this got to do with anything that I'm saying? What's this got to do with improving your personal life? That's a great question. Let's now talk about how we can apply this concept into our lives. You can consider a lot of things that you do as different kinds of funnels. Making friends is a funnel. Applying for jobs is a funnel. Talking to people at a party is a funnel. Networking professionally or cold emailing people, these are all funnels in some form or the other. You can actually apply it to most things in life, not just these. What you want to do is optimize your funnels to improve the number of conversions that you get at the bottom, using the three ways that I mentioned above. Let's see how we can do that in different aspects of life. Let's first talk about making friends. When I moved to Los Angeles last year, I moved with absolutely nothing other than my internship job offer and my 2 suitcases, as well as a 9-day reservation at a backpacker hostel. I didn't have any close friends or family in the city at all, and I didn't even have a place to stay beyond the first 9 or 10 days at the backpacker hostel. It was a completely clean slate for me. I had to build my own life there. I had to find a place to stay and settle in, but I also had to start a new social circle there completely from scratch. How did I use the funnel theory to make my friend circle in Los Angeles? The first thing I did is that I increased my leads. Since I had no friends at all, I decided to make an extra effort into finding opportunities and saying yes to almost everything that came my way. I searched for and attended meetups and free classes all by myself. I reached out to everyone that I even remotely knew that I knew was in the city. And I was more than open to getting out of my comfort zone, going to bars and restaurants and different meetups all by myself. And most importantly, speaking to people that I came across when I was at all these places. I also spoke to people at random places like Uber pools and bus stops and on the train and wherever I came across people and I found that people were interested in having a conversation, which in Los Angeles was a lot more common than in other places. I just spoke to a lot of people. This was the way that I was increasing the number of encounters that I had, people at the top of the funnel. I was just putting myself out there as much as I could. The second thing that I did was improving the funnel. In this scenario, it basically means improving your social skills, your confidence, as well as your art of conversation. This was not something that I worked on over a very short period of time. It's something that I've been constantly working on for the last 6 years, since my first year of college, when I realized that this was important. One of the books that I highly recommend on this topic is How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. It's an old classic. It's multiple decades old. I think it's from the 1920s or 1930s or something like that. But its essence and the points that it makes are still relevant even today. If I had to sum it up in 1 or 2 sentences, it would be show genuine interest in other people. Ask them about themselves. Because people love talking about themselves and people love people who give them an opportunity to talk about themselves. This is a bit of an oversimplification and that's why I recommend you to actually read the book. It's not that long, it's not very expensive at all, and I highly, highly recommend it. Another amazing book recommendation is Mark Manson's The Subtle Art of Not Giving a F***. There's another book of his called Models, which is really good too. Even though it's focused on dating, I think a lot of its principles apply to just generally getting more confidence and generally improving your social skills in other non-dating situations as well. The third thing that I did was improving my targeting. It's important to understand the kind of people that you want to be meeting and then position yourself accordingly to place yourselves closer to people who are like this. So I know that I'm a creative and artistic guy who loves learning about new things. So I went to a regular language exchange party in my neighborhood of Santa Monica. And this party was basically, you have like 2 stickers on your t-shirt, one which says the language that you're fluent in and the other one which is like the language that you want to practice. And then you just like go around and mingle and talk to people who are fluent in the language that you want to practice, and people come and talk to you if you are fluent in the language that they want to practice. It's an amazing concept. There was one woman who I met there and she introduced me to the world of improv comedy, and then I joined an improv comedy class and I met a whole bunch of cool people there and had a lot of fun. I also wanted to meet people who I could practice French with, so then I went on meetup.com and found a French speakers meetup in Santa Monica. And there I met these 2 guys, an American guy and a Canadian, who wanted to practice French, and then the 3 of us, we met up every Thursday evening at a cafe in the neighborhood just to practice French for 2 hours. I also attended this socializing meetup in Santa Monica because I knew that at a meetup like that, it's likely that I find people who want to meet other people because it is a socializing meetup. And that's where I met Andrew, who was a guy who lived in the same neighborhood, and me and him, we met for a beer once every week or 2 weeks or so. And then I went to this beach volleyball meetup, but I didn't really meet anyone cool there because I am not a very sporty person and everyone who came there were generally very sporty people. Similarly, I participated in an ultimate frisbee tournament and I didn't really meet anyone cool there either for the same reason. So yeah, you can tell that, you need to position yourself according to what kind of people you want to be meeting. But, I also met friends when I wasn't expecting to. I met Christine in the back of an Uber pool. We hit it off over a shared conversation about France, and now she's a really good friend who I'm still in regular touch with. And the car was 7BJX101.
Yeah, this is the trip.
I met this guy called Christian at a bus stop and he approached me, asked me about the bus. And then he noticed like a spaceship pin that I had on my bag at that time and he asked me if I was an engineer or a scientist. And then that's how our conversation started. And then we started talking about productivity and the future of mankind and all these deep things. He turned out to be a senior engineer at Amazon. So then we met for a coffee and he gave me like career and productivity guidance and that was super cool. I also became really good friends with Joel, who was one of my flatmates. And he introduced me to his group of friends and all of us hung out out together once in a while. And then I also met Sujay and Mandar through a mutual friend who I knew lived in LA as well. But it's when you meet people randomly like this, when your skills in improving the funnel come in. You're given an opportunity without even trying, and then it's all on your social skills to convert that opportunity into something more. So that's how I used the funnel theory to make friends when I was in Los Angeles last year. But what else can you do with the funnel theory? Let's talk about finding jobs. You can use the funnel theory to improve your process of finding jobs as well. You can increase your leads by applying to more jobs. You can improve your funnel by working on your CV, your interviewing skills, your confidence, and your overall profile. You can improve your targeting by reevaluating what kind of jobs you're applying for. There's no point in applying for jobs that are not in the scope of your skills or of your interests. You can also use the funnel theory for networking professionally. You can increase your leads by reaching out to more people, sending more LinkedIn messages, sending more emails, talking to more people at networking events, whatever way you do it. You can improve your funnel by working on yourself, your conversational ability, and what you can bring to the table. And then you can improve your targeting by reaching out to the right kind of people. Whether it's alumni from the school that you graduated from or people who previously worked at a company that you worked at. Basically, finding people with something in common. And yeah, of course, you can use the funnel theory in marketing and sales. You can use it when you're selling yourself or a product. But there are some things to remember about the funnel theory. Firstly, of course, this is just a framework. It doesn't apply 100% to each and every situation that you might come across. Secondly, you need to also understand that in your situation, what is the cost of increasing your leads, improving your funnel, or improving your targeting? The cost can be either money, effort, or time. In some situations, it might be more cost effective to just increase the number of your leads. Like for example, just speaking to more people at a party. In other situations, increasing your leads can be more expensive. Like on LinkedIn, when you have a limited number of messages that you can send. Or in a classic example, if you're doing Instagram advertising, it's more expensive for your advertisement to reach more people. Or if you're applying for jobs and it takes too long to make one job application because you have to write a long cover letter or something like that. In general, you want to work on all three processes at the same time. Increasing your leads, improving your funnel, and improving your targeting. How much time, effort, or money that you allocate to each of these three things, that can differ depending on the situation that you're using them for and what you're trying to achieve. Alright, there you go guys. This is the funnel theory, my framework to making friends, applying and finding jobs, talking to people, and for a lot of other things in my life. You just need to remember, increase your leads, improve your funnel, improve your targeting. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more personal improvement videos like this, let me know in the comments below so I know that you're into it. I'll definitely still be making more HEC Paris and studying in France and Masters in Management videos. But I'm also trying to branch out into newer kinds of content that I think you guys might also be interested in. As always, thanks a lot for watching. You can consider following me on Instagram, and you can also consider clicking on either of these two videos because I think they might help you out as well. Alright, see you guys in the next one.